Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, Pablo. How are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing? How was your weekend?
Good?
Good? Nice.
Yeah, play with my brother.
For real?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's see. Hi, Mia.
Hi, mister.
How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing great. Wow, I really like the microphone you're using.
Thank you.
Yeah. You look like a singer. Okay. We're going to wait for the others. We are 14 right now. We're going to wait for the others. Wow, good morning, Mariana Hueso. It's pretty weird because um, only 4 students have activated their cameras, so it means that you haven't taken a shower. The other ones. Yeah. Maybe most of you said, wow, Mr. Leo, he went beyond too early the class. But you know, we have to start with the right foot, the week. Voy a decir esto en español porque es algo bien importante y yo necesito que todo estudiante que, que entre en la cuenta de otra persona, yo necesito que escriba su nombre o que active su cámara, ¿verdad? Que escriba su nombre en el cuadrito del chat y que también, o que active su cámara. O que me pongan un mensaje privado, ¿verdad? Mister, soy tal persona. Ah, ok, ok.
Adiós, mami.
You see me, you have a good mom.
Oh,
Where? Don't get shy. Moms are very good. Okay, we are 21, and I think that I'm going to start right. I don't want to start yet because we're missing some students, and the problem is that while I'm projecting the presentation and some students want to enter to the class, I have to admit them, and then the presentation freezes. So I would like to start just one time and then without stopping. However, the class is going to be pretty short because you are going to do only the introduction of the unit, let's say like that. So you are going just to use your stickers, and there is a short explanation of real language that is on page 44 too. That is about would rather, but that's pretty short. And I hope you like the activity that I established for your EFL, the one that you have to do on your notebook. You're going to take a picture, so please try to do your best. Okay. Okay, we here. You see, we here is coming. We are 22. Okay, just let me check this. We have Mia, Vihil, Sophie, I suppose this Hector, Nehemias, good. Hi, Nehemias. Catherine, wow, Catherine, good morning. Borja, good morning. Eduardo, good morning. Fer, good morning. Andrea, how are you? Edic, Pablo Sarabia, good morning. David Bonilla, hi, David Bonilla. Carlos, good morning. Alarcón, Henry, Orlando, and Pablo Sael. So we're doing great. I think that we should start right now. Okay, I am going to start right now with the class. This is a very, very short class. So I think that it won't take like too much time because as I said, is the introduction of the unit. And the only thing that you have to do is to get some vocabulary that we are going to be discussing during this unit, a little explanation of a short topic, grammar topic, and then you're going to start working your job. Besides that, listen, it's gonna be shorter, the class, because Mr. Ulises gave you the information for page 45. So what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to give you the information for page 44, because in the introductory video, and I'm going to repeat it, in the introductory video, Mr. Ulysses explained something related to page 45, okay? Mister, you didn't teach us this. Yes, because Mr. Ulysses tried to do his best in his introductory video. Mariana is laughing at me, you see? She's laughing about my pronunciation. Yeah. Okay. So I am going to share with you some vocabulary. And let's see. Just let me be sure about this. Okay, please, can you you see, that's a problem that I am going to stop sharing and I'm going to reshare, because what I told you, every time one student gets into the class, the presentation freezes. Okay, here we are again. And besides it's 8:16, so I would like, okay. Can you see the presentation there? Yes? Okay, cool. Okay, so this is Unit 5, EFL, so we're going to start one unit, and it's Unit 5, right? Its name is Art. So we are going to learn, as I told you before, I am going to give you just the vocabulary that you are going to use for page 44. And page 45, Mr. Ulises explained about it in his video. So we have a digital camera, right? This is a vocabulary that you already know, okay? Or maybe most of the words you already know them. So I'm going to go like kind of fast, okay? So we have the digital camera. However, I think that many people nowadays use their cell phones, right? We don't use digital cameras anymore. Then we have the canvas, okay? Sometimes, well, I tend to use this in some of my EFL projects. I try to ask for a canvas, and you can use them for art when you are painting or something like that. And be careful, because I'm not talking about the painting. I'm talking about the material, that big chart that you can see in there. That's a canvas. So then we have watercolors. We have a lot of type of colors, right? When talking about art or talking about the materials that we use when we're painting. So we have watercolors, okay? So please, next time that you ask, especially when you go to the younger students, to the youngest, okay? like Mariana's brother, and you ask the teacher, teacher, do you have colors of water? Try to omit that, okay, because that's Spanish. We say watercolors. That's what we say. Miss, do you have some watercolors? And then you can start asking for them. We don't say colors of waters because that's Spanish, okay? And the way that is written is like that, is together. Then we have lens. That's the lens. That's what we use when we're using a digital camera, right? It's the zoom that I can project to take in order to take my picture. Then we have spray paint, okay? That's something very useful too when we are doing activities. We will use some this year, but sadly we are here, so, but we will use some this year. So that's the way, spray paint, okay? We don't say spray, we don't say paint of, no, we don't do that, okay? We say spray paint. And that's the way that is written. And again, you are going to be using this vocabulary in your page 44 of EFL. Then we have oil paints, okay? As I told you before, we have a lot of materials for painting when we're painting, and that's oil paints. Obviously, the watercolors, they are made of what they are used with water, they are made of water, and this one's with oil. Okay. Then we have pastels. Be careful, okay? Sometimes but a pastel is like a cake, mister. Actually, it is not, okay? So pastels, that's, don't think in Spanish. Pastels, that's another kind of painting, okay? Then we have easel. That's maybe like or at least I didn't know this word, so I investigated about it. So that's the easel. We don't say ESL, mister. No, we don't say, that's not the pronunciation. The pronunciation is easel. And it is this thing that you can see here, okay? And we use it in order to put the canvas or those stuff. I think that's it. Then we have the flash, okay? The flash of a camera. I'm not talking about the camera. I'm not talking about that girl. But I'm talking about like this lighting that you can see here. That's where we're using. That's the word flash, okay? So you are going to see these vocabulary words. I am going to repeat it one more time. You are going to see them on page 44. Remember, you are going to use your stickers about digital camera, canvas, pay attention to the pronunciation, and try to get the picture, okay? Watercolors, lens, spray paint, oil paint, pastels, and easel, flash, okay? So when we stop the class, when we finish the class and you start working, try to do your best, okay? If you don't have your stickers, write them down, but if you have your stickers, use them. Then under that page, at the bottom of that page, you're going to see like one phrase. It's on real language. It says, she would rather. Okay, and would rather, that's something that we use, okay, to talk about preferring one thing to another. Would rather has different construction. Okay, sometimes people present alternatives for us. For example, imagine that you want to go to the movies, okay, but Fernando Arevalo doesn't. So we ask all of the students, would you like to, do you want to go to the movies? And then Mia, Catherine, Sophie, they say, yeah, we want to go to the movies. But Fernando doesn't want. So he has two options. He can either go to the movies with us or he can stay at home. And because he has two alternatives, he has to get just one. And he can use this phrase. He can tell me, Mister, I would rather, thank you for the invitation, but I would rather stay at home, okay? I would rather stay at home than go to the movies with you. Let's see. Then we have three ways. We have affirmative, we have negative, and we have interrogatives. So listen. That's the way that we construct our sentences, okay? When we're using we rather. We have the subject, we have, let me see if I can use this. We have the subject, then we have to use would rather. Sorry, this is for negative. This is for affirmative. We have the subject, then we have would rather, then we have the verb, then the object. This is very important. We have to use then, okay? Then the verb again and the object, okay? And we have two examples. As you can see here, I have he, subject, would rather clean, the verb, base form, Mr. But he, and clean, it goes with is because of the rule. Yes, but because we're using would rather, the verb goes in base form. He would rather, then we have the object, which is his room. And then we have then, that's very important word, you know, have to omit it. And then the verb again and shopping. In this case, he is saying, in other words, he is saying that he instead of going shopping, that person wants to clean his room, okay? And then we have another one. I would rather take his gift than yours, okay? That person is saying that I prefer take maybe Alarcon's gift and not Henry's gift. That's what it's saying. Then we have the negative form. The only thing that we change here is not. If you notice, we use subject, would rather, and the word not, okay, in order to express that it's negative. Then we have the verb, and this is very important because the verb, not, should be before the verb, not after, okay? Then we have the object, then the same structure, then VI and object. For example, he would rather not clean his room than go shopping, okay? In this case, he doesn't want to clean. He prefers going shopping. And then I would rather not take his gift. We don't use don't, we don't use doesn't, we don't use will. No, we don't use those ones. The only word that we are going to use is not. I would rather not, and the verb. I would rather not do my spelling homework, okay? And then we have the interrogatives, okay? We have would, we have, in this case, we start with would. Would rather, Mr.? No. The difference between this affirmative that we have would rather together, in the second one, we have it together, but in the third one, we don't have it together. We start with would, then we have the subject, then we have rather, then the verb, and then we have the object, then the word then, and the verb again. And we have two examples. Would he rather clean his room than go shopping? And obviously we have to use the question mark. And then we say, would you rather take his gift than mine? Okay, we're asking which gift that person would get. And that's the use of would rather. Once again, I told you that it would be a pretty short, okay, because it is not our main topic of EFL, but it's included. So I wanted to explain that a little bit, at least a little bit. So again, we use would rather when we want to talk about the things that we prefer and not the others, okay? When I'm saying I have two options, but I will take this one. So you express, I would rather take this option than this one. I would rather go to Mr. Leo's class. I would rather go to Mr. Leo's class than watch it on YouTube. You see what I'm saying? I would rather play the violin than the piano. You see what I'm saying? And that's the use of would rather. Then we have the contractions. Be careful, but sometimes that you can see this, like he, the apostrophe and D means would, okay? He would, but in a contraction form, he'd, okay? So, and then you have the same, she, she'd, they'd, you'd, it'd, and we'd, okay? We are using the contraction forms of she would, they would, you would, it would, we would, but the contraction form. And I think, yes, that's it. Okay. Okay, so basically, this is what I wanted to give you, the vocabulary words, and I wanted to give you the vocabulary words and also a little bit of explanation of would rather. As I told you, this is the introduction of the unit. We are going to be talking about arts. We're going to be including our grammar topic, okay, the principal grammar topic, and we're going to be using these words. So get familiar with it every time that you can see them. I'm talking in, I mean, like real objects that you can see through your camera. Try to remember these names in English and not in Spanish. Or if you are going to be painting, trying to say, oh, this is an oil paint, okay? And then you are going to be getting the vocabulary. And the other part of the class was would rather. Remember that we use would rather when we are saying that we prefer one thing and not the other. We are going to stop the class right now. Then you can start working on your EFL. Remember, Mr. Ulises gave you page 45. I just gave you page 44. I don't know if you have any question. You can ask me right now on the chat box. You can type and you can ask me. Oh, that's interesting, Mia, that your dad has those lands. Very good. Okay, if you have any question, you can ask me right now. If not, remember that today we are going to start with our reading topic. And I know this is EFL, but just to give you in advance, we're going to be having reading classes. So read the page that I told you to read, and we're going to discuss it at 10 a.m. if I'm not mistaken. If you don't have any question, we are going to stop here and I'm going to finish the meeting. I am going to send the presentation to the WhatsApp group and I will see you within an hour. Okay. Okay. See you then. You don't have questions? I'm going to finish it. Bye-bye, guys. See you in an hour. Bye. Bye, Mia. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.